Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Knowledge. On today's episode, we're just going to talk about the changing of the guard that's currently happening in Pokemon. I don't know if you could hear it, I don't know if you could feel it, but the winds of change are coming, and it's giving me goosebumps. It's a crazy time, it's a wild time, it's an exciting time, it's an interesting time in this hobby. There's so much going on, but a lot of the excitement and the interest in this hobby is being driven by new collectors. And, we're going to talk about that in this video because you know what? It is something that needs to be talked about. Pokemon as a hobby is very cyclical, meaning everything that we're seeing right now has happened at some point in the past before. Maybe not exactly the same or at exactly the same scale, but we've seen things like this happen in the history of this hobby before. But what we haven't really seen before is the change or in the dynamic of the characteristics, the traits, the tendencies, the knowledge, and the reach of the collectors. That's something which is very new, and it's very exciting because we're already seeing a wave of collectors that have entered, I call it within the last 13 months. So they came in at some point during 2020, and now here they are still into March of 2021. And they've grown so much in this hobby. And these new collectors now have their own reach and their own knowledge. It's very impressive. And I'm watching at the same time, I still call them new collectors, but it's almost unfair to call them that at this point because they have grown so much in this hobby. And now I'm watching them teach newer collectors who are still entering this hobby. So now we're seeing this same cycle repeat itself. It's amazing to watch and to sit back and just enjoy what's going on. You asked me 2 years ago, 1 year ago, a month ago, or a day ago to give you my definition of what I thought a Pokemon collector was. I probably would have gave you a different definition at each one of those time periods. And what I'm seeing happen right now, which is very exciting, I think it's very beneficial for this hobby, especially when it comes to the future growth of this hobby, is we're seeing Pokemon start to step out of the shadows and become very mainstream, become very well received, very well accepted by the masses. And you need that for this hobby to get to the next level, and we're starting to see that. But the reason we're starting to see Pokemon step out of the shadows anymore is because the definition of the collectors and investors have changed. It's not like a secretive community anymore. It was always a tight niche community. It was always a very helpful, it was always a very friendly community. But now we're starting to see so many more people join this hobby that it's becoming even more mainstream. And you need that in order to continue to grow this hobby. If you don't have that, it will fail. And when it comes to the community aspect, seeing a metaphysical change happen in the thought process and the mindset of collectors now. And that's why this, the whole topic of this video is the changing of the guard, because you do have a lot of old collectors who have been in the hobby for a little while like me. And our biggest issue right now, and I'm seeing it all the time, and it's something that I'm having to deal with the best that I can, and I'm doing my very best to adapt and to change to it. But it's simple. It's just price memory. Some people's price memory in this hobby is just simply longer than other people's. And the people that have been in this hobby for a few years, our price memories are really hurting us right now. It's not hurting us when it comes to selling stuff, but it's hurting stuff when it comes to acquiring new things and adding to our collection. Where now all these new collectors, their price memories are so much smaller. Their window of time is much smaller. They only know Pokemon, being in this extreme hype and this extreme prices and, very strong lack of supply, but super high demand. That's what they know. That's what their price memory is. And guess what? They're also coming in with, tons of money into this hobby. So it's changing a lot. And that, called the OG Pokemon collectors, that old guard is now slowly, I shouldn't even say slowly, It's quickly being changed by this new guard of collectors coming in. And I have to sit back and at least watch it and understand that this is happening to a very large extent, and it's happening so fast. Coming to a crossroads in this hobby, and no, it's a crossroad where you have one of two options. You could either change or you can get left behind. And as hard and as sad it is for me to say, I'm seeing some older collectors in this hobby be left behind. And I don't know if it's just stubbornness, thick-headedness, or just, an inability to take what's happening in this hobby, a hobby, keep in mind, that they love and that they are very passionate for, but they're more or less ignoring all the positives that are happening in this hobby. And it's sad to say, and I'm watching as these newer collectors are starting to pass a lot of these people. I think a lot of it has to do with the money they're bringing into the hobby, but if you are coming into this hobby or you're newer into this hobby and you are fast tracking and you do have this warp speed type mentality, I just want you to do me one favor. I just need you to tap on the brakes a very little bit and just make sure that all the decisions you are doing getting into this hobby and going at the rate and the speed that you guys are going at, which I think is great. I think it's great for this hobby. I think it's great, like I said, to bring us out of the shadows. I already said that, but I just need to let you guys know you can't start making impulsive decisions and start making poor decisions, especially when it comes to the financial aspect. And I've said it before, at the end of the day, your money is your money. It's not my money. That's the only constant I know in life. Your money is yours, and it's definitely not mine. You can do whatever you want with your money. But please, just be smart. Just make sure that whatever sets you're buying, whatever sealed product, whatever cards, whatever, graded cards, be smart. If at any time you're doing this and you're questioning it and you're saying, am I making the right decision? I'm going to give you a little bit of advice right now. You're probably not making the right decision if you have to ask yourself that question. Just want to get that out of the way. But listen, with this changing of the guard that's happening and these new collectors, we're going to see a weird shift happen because now these, people that I would consider new collectors within the last 13 months are now going to start to teach the even newer class of collectors and investors that are entering the hobby today. And I just need to let everyone know out there, please do me a favor. Think about Peter Parker's uncle. With great power comes great responsibility. Please don't ever give people advice that doesn't benefit them, that only benefits you. Only give them advice that you truly believe in, that you believe is correct, that you believe is right. Please don't use the knowledge that you have now gained in this hobby and use it in an evil way. And please don't take advantage of new collectors. It's very important. You guys right now, you hold the destiny and you hold the continuing of this hobby to be great, to be amazing. So I just want everyone to know that you are going to be the new change of the guard. That's you. You're going to help bring this hobby to a new level, to a new plane, to something that we have never seen before. And if we are smart in this and we do our due diligence and we make informed, well thought out decisions, this hobby will grow past 2021 and into 2022. And who knows how far we can really go in this hobby. But I just want the newer collectors to know, please be smart. Please keep this hobby in mind. Please keep the community in mind. Do the right thing. Don't do the wrong thing. Don't give in to your greed. Don't give in to your hate. It's a fun time in this hobby. I'm excited. I don't know how this new shift that is happening is going to play out. I'm interested to see. I'm going to be along for the ride. I'm going to watch. And, You know, it just is what it is. But anyways, guys, I've said it before. If you've made it this far in the video, you are absolutely the best. You are the reason I make these videos. And if you're not subscribed to this channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. But other than that, hit the like button, because you help me out a lot. It doesn't cost you a thing, but it helps out the channel a lot. It's going to upvote this through the YouTube algorithm. It's going to make this content available to a lot of other people. But other than that, catch you guys on the next video.